guys begin to stir, awaking from very unpleasant dreams. Your bodies are cold, and you quickly begin to realize why. The area around you is covered in icy frost and ice. The ice is slowly starting to recede. Everybody roll me initiative to see the order in which you awake.
Wow, that was like the worst of initiative roll of the entire campaign.
Also, we do not appreciate Rick and Morty references here. Shame on you, Adam.
Pickle Rick!
I turned myself into a pickle demon!
Pickle Rick!
Right, so who is left? Iris, roll me initiative. What's with those initiative rolls? Wow, oh wait, you did roll, never mind. Okay, gotcha, everybody's here, right, I forgot. Shh, don't worry about it.
You forgot,
Professional
man.
GM here.
You forgot, everyone
Iris.
betrayed everyone.
You are the first to wake up and to survey the area. Your body shivers, you immediately go to cover yourself as you feel the frost.
With what?
Around you, you see devastation. The hideout lies in ruins. There are corpses everywhere. You struggle to get up because you realize there's something heavy on top of you. The next moment as you're getting up, you realize what it is. Rohana's body is on top of you. She used herself as a shield to protect you. And not only from the cold, but from anything else that may have happened to you. As you quickly check her condition, her body is cold, but you can barely feel a pulse. Looks like Armoros, the demon inside her, is desperately trying to keep her alive. You feel like something is trying to call out to you, but you can barely make it out.
What would that be?
I can't. Iris, help me. It's Armoros. You can feel his presence inside Rohana, and he's asking for help.
Right, right away, I'm gonna basically search for Hannah. She has talismans on her, right?
Yes.
Since I used all mine, I'm gonna search for hers. I'm gonna try searching for several fire talismans and also healing ones.
She has everything on her.
Good. Basically, I'm gonna start slapping the healing ones on her and also basically putting the fire ones to the side so that it can make a little fire.
As you start making the fire, the next to open her eyes is you, Vira. You open your eyes and you immediately feel almost empty. You feel Gio inside you, but just barely, like a small flame about to die out in the wind. His life is flickering inside you just barely. He hasn't woken up yet, but at least you know that he is alive. As you begin to stir and get up, you immediately feel the frost and the cold. You begin to shiver as well. You see Iris is starting a small flame, Rohana at her side with her talisman, some talisman set on her. You realize that the area where you guys were, shall we say, sleeping is a little bit different, however. There seem to be flowers, grass, so unnatural for this environment. They have all begun to wither and die. The source comes from Gordon, who is sitting in between all of you. His entire flesh is covered in tree bark. You are not very familiar with spiritualistic types of magic. However, both Iris and the still sleeping Alyssia are, so I'll just tell you. He has used his life's energy and essence to shield all of you, basically expanding his reserves of energy outward, producing life and preserving it. That's why such vegetation has sprouted around you, and that's probably one of the reasons you guys have managed to survive, thanks to him. As for his condition, he has no pulse, no reactions. His body is cold. For all intents and purposes, he looks like a corpse. However, since he is a deeply spiritualistic person, Iris, you would know that some of the greatest masters have ways to imitate near-death statuses in order to preserve their life. You're hoping that this is the case with Gordon. If not, then he is surely dead.
Well, can I check once I've done with Ohana?
For all intents and purposes, if he is using something to fake his death to preserve his life, he is dead. He has no pulse, he is cold, he looks exactly like a corpse. You cannot tell him apart from a normal corpse.
Fuck.
All you know is that the bark skin that's covering his flesh is beginning to crumble and fall.
Can I look for Roland?
As you start looking around, Vira, you take notice of the corpses around you. They are fresh. So is the blood. The blood is not encased in ice. It has been splattered on the ice. These men were just recently murdered. You see that the trail of corpses and blood is leading off to a nearby dark room, and you hear faint motion from inside it.
Alright, I'm gonna, since only one of my arms out of my 4 limbs works, I'm just gonna be dragging myself towards there and calling out for Roland.
As you start to move, you realize that while your body is indeed in great pain and quite frostbitten, your limbs have actually healed. For all intensive purposes, you are back to normal physical conditions except for being exhausted and banged up.
Alright, so I'm not a paraplegic.
No, your limbs have healed. Though, even if the limbs are healed, you know how it is. When you break a bone or when you damage something in your body, the damage is never truly 100% healed. At some intervals in your life, you will feel leftover pain. Or phantom pain, if you will.
Yeah, I'll just still try and, I'm still gonna kind of drag myself along the floor because I don't want to put any unneeded stress on them. Because the bones are really cold right now, so they're brittle, they've just been broken. Putting stress on them is a terrible idea, so I'll still be dragging myself towards the room, calling out.
As you start dragging your body towards the side room, you notice that inside there's even more corpses than outside leading to the room. A massacre must have happened inside this small 20 by 20 room. You see mountains of corpses, splintered tables, destroyed chairs, everything's been used as a weapon and flung to one side or another. And at the far end of the room, you recognize a shadow that you've grown quite accustomed to. Roland is sitting at the far end of the room, on the floor, with his back to the wall. He's hanging his head and he apparently doesn't have the strength to look up, but he gingerly moves his neck to the side so he can look in your general direction. He coughs up some blood and in a very tired motion says, "Hey there, princess. Finally woke up, huh? Took you a while."
I'm gonna tiredly smile that he seems to be alive, and I'm just gonna scoot over towards him and kind of try and position myself so I'm sitting next to him. I'm gonna hug him, because I'm really glad he's alive.
As you hug him, he immediately groans in pain, and you quickly realize why. His coat has been hiding it, but since you moved in, you managed to take a peek underneath. There are some pretty heavy bolts stuck in his body. You're not a medic, but one of them has clearly pierced his lung. He is bolted to the wall.
I'm now really upset. I want to try and help him, but anytime I do a medicine check, I fail. So, like, I'm just kind of panicking at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna start calling for
As you're starting to panic, Royland gingerly puts his hand on top of your head, Vira, to calm you down and starts petting you. It's alright, kiddo, don't worry. It's fine. What about the others?
I think everyone's okay. I'm not sure, though.
Good. Good. For a moment there, I thought you're not gonna make it. When I saw in what kind of condition you were. So glad you're okay, princess.
Yeah, let's just worry about you. And I'm calling out to Iris.
Right,
As you're about to go out, Roland puts his hand to stop you. Don't.
But
Sadly, I'm not as sturdy as the others, as you can tell. I don't think a few quick patches is gonna cut it this time.
but I
Listen, Iris. Listen, Vira. The guys outside, they're probably gonna start waking up soon. If you go down that side corridor, there's a hidden door on one of the walls. It leads further down into the hideout. You follow the hallway through the storage. There's another way out to lead you outside the manor. If you're quick enough, the enemy won't see you leave. Grab the others and get going.
I'm not just gonna leave you here.
Don't worry, princess, it ain't all bad. I mean, I never imagined I'd die in someone's hands. Honestly, I've never been more happy in my life. My one regret, I never did get to see you grow up. But oh well, I'm sure that you'll be a wonderful woman. Oh,
Vira's full on sobbing now.
can I hear this?
you already are. Don't cry for me, princess. I lived a long life. Done a lot of bad things. Trust me. This is more than I deserve. Now go. Don't die here. As he says that, you see that he is passing out.
Wait, don't go yet.
Can I discover this? Since I would probably hear sobbing.
Yeah. By the way, Alyssia, at this point you're probably starting to steer as well and wake up.
And on a scale from 1 to 10, how fucked am I?
Just like Vira, your body has been mostly restored. However, there is a difference. 2 people got hit by Reinhardt's spear. You were one of them. Luckily, you avoided the blunt of it thanks to Logan interfering, but you feel like something is not right with your body. That spear did something for you. It's not physical damage. You feel like your very soul was shook and damaged. And you still feel some kind of damage on the inside, even though you can't quite place it in words. You feel pretty shitty, but other than that, your body seems to be fine, if not for the frostbite. Luckily, Iris has started a small fire, so you have a place to warm up real quick.
I guess I've got to come to where Vira is then. So, is he okay? He says, holding one of her arms.
I'm unconsolable right now.
Can I check his pulse if she's not gonna...
Roland's pulse is very faint. You see that the bolts have bolted him to the wall. One of them has clearly pierced his lung. If you try to move him, he will immediately die.
Oh, by the way, I'm actually gonna look down to the sword at my side and go, can you sever the bolts?
Without saying anything, the sword just moves your hand without you having any control and very skillfully slices them off.
She actually...
He's not bolted to the wall. Keep in mind though, his condition is very, very critical. If you move him around too much, he will die.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna actually smile and actually gonna kiss the tip of the sword before placing it back in. And then I'm gonna kneel down. Can I know we gotta be careful, but can I somehow get medicine? Like maybe heat up the bolts to burn the wounds closed or something?
not sure if that's a good idea. Since you don't have very good medical knowledge, you don't have it as a skill, right?
No, I mean, I do have 3 in it though. Like, my wisdom allows me to have quite like a bit in it.
Yeah, but you're not trained in it.
No.
So, since you're untrained, you are not sure if you can do it properly. And if you fail, he will die. Are you sure you want to risk it?
No, but...
Right now, since the bolts are inside him, they're basically stopping most of his bleeding. If you try to do something with them, chances are he will die faster.
Oh, actually, if they're metal, can I actually put the healing talismans over them? To be able to
can,
make sure...
but the healing talismans will not work. They cannot save his life. They can only buy him time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I want them to buy him time until we can get to, like, a doctor or something.
Alyssia, to answer your question, no, you cannot verify what's wrong right now. Also, again, you say going to the doctor, but the doctor is gonna have to come to him. There's no way he's gonna make it to a doctor.
Can I actually roll for medicine then?
What are you trying to do?
I'm gonna try to see if my knowledge is great enough to be able to help him.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah!
With that type of roll, you can immediately make out his condition. In your current situation, you realize what's happening outside. There's an army about to wake up. There is no way you're getting Roland out of here alive. The doctor has to come to him, and soon.
I'm just gonna kind of, like, in the middle of sobbing, I'm gonna give Iris the directions that Roland gave me. I guess at this point I'm just gonna kind of stand up and grab Iris's hand and start pulling her away.
No,
you start to begin hearing mocking laughter. People are calling Andrea a bitch outside, and they're trying to break the ice with everything they've got so they can desecrate her remains.
I'm gonna look back to Alyssia and Vira. I'm gonna go, can you do me a favor?
That would depend on what your favor is.
I want you to get these 2 out of here. She points towards Gordon and Hannah.
Alyssia just looks back at Iris with a puzzled look, since clearly she's not a woman of brawn.
Vira's grabbed you at this point.
Hey, Experta, what does the outside look like? Is there something that an explosion would cause to collapse on top of the army outside?
With the ice receding, there's a pretty clean slate battlefield in front of you. Henry and Roland had set up many traps, but all of them have been triggered at this point, trying to slow down and kill the army as they were storming the first time around. Now, outside all you see is the receding ice and a lot of enemies who are coming out of the ice. As this is happening, Vira, you feel a faint presence inside you. Gio is starting to wake up. Since he is a part of you, he quickly starts to get his bearings and understand the situation you guys are in. And he immediately starts getting angry at how everything unfolded.
Mentally, I'm just kind of standing there, like in complete shock, mentally and physically. So I'm just gonna kind of like turn to him and say, we need to be stronger together. I'm just gonna kind of hold out my hand to him.
Gio takes your hand in your mind and squeezes hard.
Wait, just because this isn't like super clear, basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to, like, you know the thing that we said a long time ago that you probably forgot about? I'm basically saying we should probably, like, fuse together.
Unfortunately, Gio in his weakened state is unsure how that's going to work out, but you feel that he agrees with you and he is making preparations.
Alright. The second he's done with the preparations, basically it's time for Vira V2.
It looks like both Vira and Gio have made up their minds. You can see it in their eyes. They're getting ready for a fight.
Iris is just smiling. It's like, are you sure? You have a chance to go.
She's looking at you and there's just pure murder in her eyes, and she just nods.
Alyssia?
Do I even have to point out the foolishness of fighting an entire army with just 3 people?
Make that 4. Behind you, you hear a voice, and as you turn, you see Firon has made his way up on his feet, and he is dragging his heavy body towards the front of the mansion.
Wait, Theron?
Yep, Firon, he's with you.
Oh.
At least for now.
But yeah, Iris is smiling and just is grinning. Well, they fought for us, didn't they?
Alicia's face palming.
Joe suddenly pipes up again. We still have a little time. Let's prepare as much as we can.
Well,
Alicia
if this
nods.
is the way we are going to do it, we are going to have choke points.
Considering they have siege engines and we have wounded in here, is it wise to use the mansion?
There was space down below. We tried choke pointing them down there.
Wait, can we see the siege engines from where we are right now?
Yes, you can.
So it's not the
It's
Hi.
basically a couple of trebuchets, so
Yeah,
they're
that's
not
why.
that far.
Vira, can you get me
Yes.
near those siege engines?
What do you mean?
Can you get me near the siege engines?
Yes.
From somewhere, the shadows casually pulls out a spherical item from her clothes and is tossing it leisurely in one hand.
Well, seems like we have a plan. Me and Furion will stay here. You will take care of siege engines.
It seems they have an awful time of dealing with mages. Good for us.
If it doesn't fall, if the mansion doesn't fall on us, then I know you succeeded.
Just to confirm, we're fighting demons, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Wait,
They
what
seem
kind?
to be beast folk. Humanoid
So-
beasts.
Not very high level demons, or what? I'm not
They're
familiar.
basically mukes like the goblins. However, do
Okay.
keep in mind, this is an army.
Well, yeah, of course.
Well now, better hurry up. There's only traps we can set. I suggest we do it quickly. I guess no one has any traps? Do I have any traps over? I mean, I don't think I know
You
any
can
talismans.
place a few talismans around thanks to what Ruhana has on her.
Ah, good. I'm definitely gonna...
As you're trying to do that, there is an image pops in the back of your mind. So, that was quite the long nap, but I've been through worse.
take a while for my arm to feel better, but...
Hey, does this mean it's stabby time? Because I'm really good at that, you know.
Fine. It's time to stab people.
Ooh, I like this new attitude. I should thank Logan when I see him again. By severing his head. 3 different times, 3 different positions. Wonder how I should chop him up.
I just
Can I chop him up? Let's chop him up as well.
I just have one condition. Let me use the sword.
You think you can use my body better than I can use it? Come on now.
I can use my body better than you can use mine.
Are you sure about that?
Your touch has never been too gentle.
I do like being on the forceful side. Something tells me you enjoy that, don't you?
I like being on top. Anyway,
Wait, is all this allowed?
Nope.
Or inside Iris' head? Okay.
Yeah.
Only you can hear only Iris' side of the conversation.
yeah.
Also, guys, I have a fabulous plan for a distraction. I've never actually used this spell before, but the way it works, it would make a fabulous distraction.
Well, I was just gonna go blow up their siege engines with the grenade, but...
Oh yeah, blow up their siege engines, and I'll make it look like... Trust me, I have a plan. Basically, what the spell is called, it's called Mislead. I can basically, well, it's basically I'm making a clone of myself. It looks exactly like myself. There's no way to tell that it's not me. I can basically position myself so I'm looking like I'm flying in the air, and then make it look like I blew them up. So then everybody's aiming at me.
Just so we're clear, you remember you're back to level 10, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, this is a spell I've had for ever. It's one of my 5th level.
Iris. Oh shit! Fuck. Just a sec, I kind of tapped out by mistake. To finish the earlier conversation, the demon inside you smiles, Iris, and says, "Just remember to feed me plenty, right? I'll kill as many of them as you want. An army, 2 armies, 10 armies, who cares? Just feed me. I'll kill everything for you."
Yes, as long as you don't take control of my body, you can eat as much as you want.
Sounds great. It's been a while since I've had a worthy feast. This should be fun.
I've set those up, I guess. I'm gonna look towards the other two and go, "You two ready?"
Alyssia looks at Vira with a questioning cock of an eyebrow.
I'm just gonna nod. I then put my hand on your shoulder, and first things first, we're both invisible. Second things second, we're both walking through a portal that brings us to the siege weapons.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm gonna walk.
And I'm gonna telepathically tell you what my plan is for destroying the siege engines with the with my illusion magic.
By the way, is there any banners around as I'm walking towards main door?
Yep, there's a banner of Noble Moon here.
How big
and
is
as
it?
you guys begin setting out and making your preparations, the army outside begins to stir. An ominous sound as they begin to regroup. The enemy is getting ready, and they will soon find out that they are not alone.
Ha 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 ha! How big's the banner?
Pretty big.
Pretty big? I probably couldn't get a section of it. I was hoping to take it off and stab it to the ground with something or wear as a cape.
Oh, you can grab it. I mean, it's pretty big. It's like a flag, so...
I wanna basically take it off. And I'm gonna hang it like... is it too big to wear as a cape?
That would look stupid.
I was gonna... It's cold, dude. I have no shirt. But yeah, she's gonna put it up next to the door. Basically, this is the stand.
As you begin rummaging through your stuff, you realize that you forgot something, Kiris. Something's dangling in your pocket. It's the Noble Moon pendant. As you're walking up to the front door, you see that Firan puts his pendant around his neck.
Yeah, Iris is gonna smile away, get the pendant, hold it for a moment, and put it around her neck. Now it's time. And with that, what she's gonna do is essentially kick the door open. What do I see?
As you kick the door open, some soldiers immediately notice something and begin looking in your general direction, looking confused. They clearly didn't expect anybody is still alive in the remains of that mansion.
She's gonna point towards the demon army. What? Hey! What?
Twice?
You got to next.